All right, guys, welcome back to episode 3 or whatever, admissions 3 into holster month. And on the table, you see this thing right here, which is from Klinger Holsters. And this is their new holster. This is what they call their gear holster. And on the back, you're going to see what they call the Klinger cushion. Now, something just fell off my table. Whoopsie. Hold on. All right, guys, welcome back. 1776 or bust. Bad voice, bad lungs, but we're going to continue forward with this, another edition of Holster Month. And this is our third entry. This is going to be from a holster company called Klinger Holster, which many of you have probably heard of. Again, keep in mind, Holster Month is to kind of introduce you to new products from holster companies that you may have heard of, and also from companies that you may never have heard of before, giving everybody an idea of what's out there and maybe eventually showing some business to them. Now, this is actually called their gear holster, and this is one of their newer holsters that's out. This actually comes with this clip that's attached by the screw right here. And what's unique about it is kind of like a lock system here where you take the screw out and you can actually maneuver the clip so you can go either extreme angles of cant like this, a little bit less, flat, backwards, whatever it is that you're looking for. So this gives you a tremendous amount of capability in moving the clip. So again, what you're noticing is from some of these holster companies, they're playing around with some ideas on how to make the clip more accessible to different users. You saw in my episode 2 with that particular clip, and now on this one, episode 3, where you're seeing this one as well. Again, you have your typical Klinger 2 points of retention right here. And right on this back, you're seeing something else that is in addition to this. This is actually called the Klinger cushion. Again, what it is it's a kind of a cushiony pad that you attach through with Velcro. And what it does is it actually gives you a little bit of more, I guess you can say cushiony when it's up against your hiney or wherever it is that you're putting your gun. So I did attach it. At first I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. But then I said, what the heck? Let's see how it actually feels against the body. One of the things that I was concerned about was that this was going to add a little bit too much thickness to the holster, which would then make the holster kind of pop out a little bit more, so to speak, when it was being concealed. However, I did not find that. As a matter of fact, you can see that this, well, maybe you can't see, but I can definitely feel the difference that once I wore this for several days, again, I think I've had this now for almost 3 weeks. So I wore this for about a week. And again, it's not a lot of time, but I'm trying to get all of these holster videos out. But nonetheless, what I did notice is that the cushion actually tends to flatten out a little bit more as you're wearing it, and it definitely reduces the amount of, I guess you can say, extra material between your body, the Kydex holster, and maybe potentially printing. Now, in regards to the holster with the gun, this is for my CZ PCR. And what you're going to notice, and this is one of the cool features about the handgun, or I should say handgun, about the holster, is that there's your resistance point. So you're going to notice it looks like that this gun should be completely retained, and it's not. It's not even locked in yet. As a matter of fact, you got to push in a little bit more. Oh, there we go. And you hear that little click. That click actually pushes the gun down even further. You're going to notice right in there that everything is where it needs to be. Upon grabbing the holster, you're going to notice that you're getting a nice purchase on your gun without any Kydex rubbing on it. And again, what you're going to notice here, which is kind of interesting, is that the gun actually it kind of encapsulates the entire holster. And what that basically means is that there's absolutely no piece of metal from this gun that's going to be exposed to your skin, which is actually kind of interesting. Now, some people may not like that because if they're carrying a red dot or whatever, but this gun doesn't have that. But what I did find out that was pretty nice about this was that, especially in the winter months, if you're carrying a steel frame gun or aluminum frame gun, or really any type of gun, when the cold metal hits your body, it's cold. I mean, let's be honest. With this, you're going to notice that it does cover it up, and it covers it up really well. Again, there's enough retention to hold the gun in place, so it's not going to go anywhere, and the draw is actually fairly smooth out, which I think is pretty cool. Again, one of the things that I have to say about the Klinger is that it goes in very nicely, but even more so, it comes out very, very smoothly without really a lot of force on it. Now, some may say, again, that's good, that's bad. It's really going to be dependent upon what you're thinking. I think the most important factor is that it retains the gun, and at the same time, you can easily extract the gun. So I do like that. So again, this is Klinger Holsters. I'm going to show you a quick video of me wearing this, including me pulling the gun out of the holster. So it gives you a better idea of what to look for and what it would look like on you, hopefully. So again, guys, I hope, appreciate everything you guys do for the channel. Appreciate all the holster companies that have given me some holsters to review for all of you. Again, everything on this holster is top notch, which is, basically to be expected at this point in the holster market. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So I hope you have a great night. Stay safe. And as always, everyone, freedom is never free.
All right, guys. So right now what I'm currently wearing is the Klinger holster. You saw it on the table. It's actually a pretty interesting holster because it has a lot of decent options to it in regards to how much you want to cant it, or if you want to keep it straight up or even rotate it backwards a little bit. But one of the things I did notice is that when I was carrying this gun and I wasn't wearing enough, I guess you could say, coverage, so to speak, the gun definitely printed, and I think I know what that was caused by. However, I do want to show you just how easy it is to draw this gun. Again, it's a PCR. It's a great gun. It's a decent holster, and I think if you're interested in Klinger and if you had good experience with it, you're probably going to really like this holster. But just to give you an idea of how this gun actually, prints or not, what you're going to notice is that when you have a pattern like this, it's going to be very easy to conceal really anything. And you're going to notice there's not really much printing that you can tell. But again, this pattern breaks it up quite a bit. In order to draw the gun, again, it's very simple, very easy to do. It does not take a lot of effort to be able to get that gun out of the holster. And that's one of the bonuses, I think, about this Klinger holster in particular, is because you don't really have crazy amount of retention, but at the same time, your gun actually is extremely easy to clip in, to put on, and to hold in place. But at the same time, a very smooth operation coming out and doing what you need to do. Obviously, I'm bringing it up to my eye level, but for the camera, I'm not. Again, reholstering is very simple, clicks right back into place, and then it goes back where it needs to go. Again, when you take it off your belt, the clip is pretty solid. I mean, it's pretty decent to take off, but it is a little bit more, I guess you can say, solid in regards to how it holds against your body. So that's a good thing. I'm going to tell you, let me just remove the gun there. But what I am going to say to you is that I think the biggest thing that you'd have to decide is if you'd want this cushion on the back. How do I feel about it? I'm not really sure 100% if I would keep it on there. And the reason being is that it is comfortable and it adds comfort to it. But I think ultimately what it does is it also adds, obviously, the width to the holster, which I don't know if I really feel that it's necessary. I mean, I've carried Kydex holsters for a long time. I've never had really any issues with them. So for me, I probably would remove it and then get rid of these and just kind of put some rubbing alcohol down to get the adhesive off. But nonetheless, it is simple to remove. It is simple to attach back on if you choose to do that. And it does work. I mean, it's comfortable. I just think it adds maybe a little bit too much thickness to it. And again, this was thicker at one point, and as I wore it, the material actually started to kind of compress more, which I think is good. But at the same time, it's going to be up to you to decide. So again, Klinger holsters, it's really a decent holster. I would probably play around the cant a little bit depending on how you feel and what you want to use it for. But overall, not a bad job. So again, guys, I'd like to hear what you have to say. Leave those comments below. Hope you're enjoying Holster Month. And as always, guys, I hope you have a great night. Stay safe. And as always, freedom is never free.